for all the ulama and shuhada that have sacrificed their lives for Islam, for all the marhameen that are gathered here, the marhameen of the believers around the world, especially the lovers of the Ahlul Bayt, alayhim salam, in Lebanon, in Iran, in Palestine, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Pakistan, wherever they may be, and especially for our great Shaheed, Sayyid Ali Khamenei. Please join me and recite a Surah Al-Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Alameen ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Wa iyyaka nasta'in. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم محمد صلى على محمد آل محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين المرتجبين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين. روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مخدمه الفداء، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم: ما بني في الإسلام بناء أحب إلى الله عز وجل وأعز من التزويج. For the hastening and return of our beloved Imam, recite salawat. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. For us to be of those who get to see the Imam in our lifetime and inshallah be of direct service to him, recite the second one louder. The love that you have for the Lady Fatimatul Zahra, salamullah alayha, recite the last one with the loudest of your voices. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farja. My respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, it's a great honor and tawfiq to be gathered here in this community to meet you lovely, beautiful souls. We thank Allah for giving us these opportunities and ask Allah to give us a long life to benefit from one another and inshallah be of service to our 12th Imam. As the brother mentioned, tonight's topic is the discussion of marriage. How sacred this institution is, how important this institution is, and how simple it is. But unfortunately nowadays it's not that simple, or that sacredness has been taken away. And this institution is not how the Quran or our narrations portray it. It's not like that in our lives. Many of us have been married for many years, but being with a wife and children, sometimes partners say they still feel quite lonely. How can it be that someone is living amongst other individuals but still feel lonely? It's because of that relationship. And I know talking about marriage is very sensitive nowadays. And it's difficult for speakers in the age of this social media. Whatever part of marriage you speak about, someone has always got something to say. If you talk about men's roles, the men will come up to you saying, why were you attacking us? Talk about our women. Talk about the women. All the faults are from the women. And then if you start mentioning about the women, then they start complaining. It's like, how dare you speak about us? You're a man. You don't know anything about us. You don't know about relationships. You don't know how a woman should be. So it's difficult, but at the same time it's very important, because we all want to serve Allah in the best of ways. Every single one of us prays for our 12th Imam. Today we ask Allah, hasten the reappearance of the Imam. We're all thinking about different solutions or how we can prepare those grounds for him. Some people may be on the front lines fighting, defending their land, defending the honor of Muslims, of all free people of the world, not just the Muslims. But sometimes we neglect our own relationships, be that our marriage, be that our relationships with our parents, with our siblings, with our community members. But if we strengthen this aspect, we will prepare the grounds for the Imam. Because the greater and stronger this institution is, the greater and stronger that your relationship is within your family, that means automatically that your community will be stronger. So when your community is stronger, automatically that means the society will get stronger. But often we start looking at different things and neglect this part within the four walls of our home. It's like learning how to run before you can walk. Because it's easier having the akhlaq with people outside. You come to the center, have a chat and chai. Over 50s, inshallah, it's not only for the over 50s, the brother was announcing. The youngsters enjoy tea. I like my tea as well. Recite salawat, please. We neglect what's on the inside, and inshallah, if we have time, we'll go into more details. But we'll start with the narration that our Prophet, the greatest man that stepped foot on this earth, the greatest man in every single aspect. Because Islam is a complete religion. It has rulings on everything. It has advice on every aspect. Not just on how to recite the Quran, how to earn a halal living, how to pray salah correctly, how to be with your partner, how to bring up your children. What are the needs of a man and a woman? These are mentioned in our narration, sometimes explicitly. How to treat a woman, how to approach a woman, how to speak to someone. If you're looking to get married, how do I find someone? What do I say? What questions do I ask? The Prophet says, "Ma buniya fil Islam bina'un habba ila Allah." There's no, Assalamu alaikum. There's no greater institution that is beloved to Allah than what? The institution of Tazweej. So if this is the greatest man saying this, we should ponder on this. Why is this institution so important? Why is there so many narrations from the Prophet? Why is it mentioned in the Quran? The ayah, it says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. Allah is reminding me and you that one of His ayat, one who is infinite in His mercy, infinite in His forgiveness, infinite in His giving, infinite in His beauty, infinite in every sense. He's saying one of my ayat is this institution. He loves this institution. It's a symbol of Allah. It's through this institution we can manifest some of Allah's attributes to some extent. Allah has given every single one of us an opportunity. He's created us for a reason. We know our purpose in the Quran. He's told us what to do. He's also told us how to get there and the easiest way to get there. He has told us what's good for me and you, whether you're Lebanese, whether you're Iraqi, whether you're Khoja, whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you're whichever color you are. He's told us how to get there. But the problem is we don't search for that. We think we live in a society, we know everything. We've read a few articles online, we've seen a few posts online, we've liked them, and alhamdulillah, due to the algorithm, you're seeing a lot more of them on your social media. We think we know how to treat a woman. Many men, they will say that. I know how to speak to a woman. I get on well with my friends at school, at work. But that relationship with a wife is different. It's not like your friend at college or university or your professional life at work. That's not how you should be treating your wife. Sometimes because you're treating her like one of the boys, it's causing problems. Your relationship or that love, that affection is getting weaker. She may not show it in her actions straight away in that honeymoon period, because in that honeymoon period, the only thing you see is, you see your wife wherever you go, work. She only thinks about her husband. But no, Islam and marriage is beyond that honeymoon period. And this great institution gives me and you to work on this nafs. This nafs, this ego that gets in the way of many of our problems today. It's always about I, what I want to do. But marriage is not about I anymore. Allah is giving you a training ground. I want you to purify your nafs. I want you to be in control. I want you to get rid of this I. One of those training grounds is where? Is marriage. Because it's not you anymore. Now you're responsible for another individual. Then when you get married, you're responsible for a child. After one, maybe two. After maybe one wife, maybe a second wife. So I don't think any of you have a second wife here, but that's a time for a discussion for another time. Recite salawats, please. And another salawat, please. So Allah has given us an opportunity. This great institution is there, one of the things that we can manifest and actually train. It's not theory anymore. You can learn a lot through books, listening to lectures, but now you have that practical training ground. Now you actually going to the gym. You signed up for the gym membership is one thing, but actually going there is another step. Inshallah, those of us that want to go, inshallah, we take those steps. We have that training ground to get rid of this I. Now some people, the question, okay, I don't need to get married. I don't need to get married. Maybe in 5 years I'll get married. Maybe in 10 years. But this need, Allah has placed in every single one of us. This is a great blessing that Allah has given me and you. It's not a radha'il, it's not a negative trait. This shahwa, this emotion, this attraction that we have for the opposite gender. We're meant to be attracted to the opposite gender. If we're not, that's a problem, but obviously this has to be channeled in the right way. In of itself, marriage, we'll try to be quick. I know there's some older brothers that are married as well, so inshallah we'll touch a little bit on how to actually maintain that marriage too. But before that, we'll go on to the preliminary steps of pre-marriage, and inshallah certain points that will actually benefit the married couples as well. So for the young, there's always a need. And the youngsters will tell you, I know just a few weeks ago there was a brother who was 13. Some of you are smiling, who was 13, he was asking me about marriage. And I gave him some advice, but he saw one aspect of his need or of his attraction. Why? Because of the society that we're in. What they are exposed to at school. They go to public schools. They meet people from all different backgrounds that talk about many different things. Whether you are the most religious person at home, your child is exposed to this. We have to accept this. And we have to prepare how to speak to them and approach them rather than telling them, don't talk about this. What are you talking about? You're just a child. So I think, okay, why is he even mentioning this at this age? Assalamu alaikum. It's mustahab, it's recommended. It's greatly recommended to get married. Sometimes it will become compulsory. Some people want to get married, but no. They'll approach someone, they'll say, okay, just fast. You need to control this shahwa that you have, this attraction. Do this a'mal, read this dua and fast for a little while and then maybe we'll think about it. But it's like, why? Why are we pushing people away from getting married? Is it our own personal reasons? Is it our own comfort that we're doing that? It's like if you come to me and say, brother, I'm thirsty, what I would say is like, brother, here you go, have some water. I'm not going to come and tell you, here, take something else. Someone's approaching you, they have a desire, a need. It's like, okay, let's see how we can fulfill that in the right way. For the brothers that are not married, listen to this narration. It's from the Prophet. Assalamu alaikum. Recite salawat, please. Because the Prophet, he wants everyone to be married. The ones who can be married, they should take those steps. They should have large families. The Prophet will take pride on the Day of Judgment that look at my ummah, look at my mu'mineen, they had large families. You try. Maybe Allah won't bless you with a child. Maybe there's certain medical reasons. Maybe not straight away. Maybe after 5 years. Maybe after 10 years. Maybe He will bless you with a child and take that child away. And that child will become a shafi, a shafi for you for heaven. Allah knows, but we need to do our part. There was a man, the Prophet asks him, I'll paraphrase this narration, it's a long narration. There's a man by the name of Akaf. The Prophet asks him, Akaf, are you married? He says, no. He says, do you have a slave? He says, no. He says, do you have any illness? It's like, no. Are you financially stable? Everything, okay? He says, Na'am, alhamdulillah, in the narration. You know what the Prophet replies? Do you think the Prophet said, MashaAllah, you're doing well, you're working hard, you're healthy, you've got wealth, and you're not with anyone? No. He says, فَإِنَّكَ إِذَنْ مِنْ إِخْوَانِ الشَّيْطَانِ or shayateen. And then he starts mentioning, saying, Akaf, if you have all of this, you're well, you don't have a slave, you're financially stable, there's no illness, and you're still not getting married, you would be considered one of the brothers of shaitan. Why? Because part of my sunnah, we're not like some of those monks that we need to hide away and don't speak to anyone, don't have a relationship with anyone. No. These emotions have these desires Allah has given us for a reason. If you want to follow the sunnah of the Muslim, sunnah of the Prophet, you need to get married. You should get married. Don't put that off just because of your personal desires or comforts. Because that's one of the reasons we actually put it off. I want to stay single. I want to be able to travel. I want to go to Turkey. I want to go to Dubai, maybe not right now. I want to go to this country or that country. Because once I get married, it's tough. There's no freedom. Or when I have children, it's tough. Instead of paying for one ticket, now I have to pay for 3 or 4 or 5. Life is over when you get married. So I'll start delaying it. So no, this is not what the Prophet wants from every single one of us. So now we understand the importance of this institution. When should we get married? And this is for parents as well. We should be thinking about this. Society influences this a lot, and unfortunately our culture does as well. And unfortunately that leads to many problems in society. Sometimes our outlook on life is very on the micro level. We're always just thinking about ourselves. We're forgetting about our society, our community. Because when you delay these things, it has a knock-on effect on everything, on your community, on the population, on the aging population of the Shia, of the Muslims, wherever you are in the world, be that in Lebanon, Iran, UK, America, wherever you are. Because if you delay it, what happens then? You delay getting married, you delay having children. And before you know it, now we're thinking, okay, there's not many people in our community. There's only elders, and then the really young. We're getting married late, or then we have one child, then we have long gaps. Inshallah, we'll talk about the family planning another time on the second part, or if we have the opportunity to talk in more of a workshop setting. Recite salawat, please. Ajil Fajr. There was a woman, she wanted to reach this perfection. She came to our 5th Imam. Because she says, I'm not going to get married. Sometimes you have some of these women, maybe not in this community, in some communities in the West. I want to be independent before I get married. I want to work, I want to finish my education, I want to do working hard, and having education is not a negative thing. I'm talking about this mindset of being independent totally. I don't need to rely on anyone, it's just me. I don't need anyone's money, I don't need anyone's support emotionally, physically or financially. This woman, she says, I want to remain unmarried and just do ibadat. I just want to worship Allah. Look what our 5th Imam says. He says, if there was any perfection in remaining unmarried, then the lady Fatimatu Zahra salamullah alayha would not have got married. And no woman can surpass her in her perfection. If we want to be that great woman, or that great daughter or daughter-in-law, I need to aspire to follow in the footsteps of the lady Fatimatu Zahra. If there was any perfection in that, she would have delayed marriage. She would not have got married and said, look, I just want to worship Allah. I just want to recite the Quran. Like, no, we go back to the Ahlul Bayt alayhim wassalam. Assalamu alaikum. Something for our youngster, I can see there's many young brothers here, and for our seniors. One of the issues that I think many people face, or sometimes leads to relationships breaking up very quickly, even though that they found this person themselves, is a lack of preparation for marriage. They don't prepare, we don't prepare enough for marriage. What do I mean? For everything else in life, Assalamu alaikum, we prepare. If it's anything to do with our work, our education, our travels, we put in a lot of preparation. We do our research. If we want to invest some money in a business, we'll research that company. If we want to open up a shop, we'll do our research. Is this a good location? What's the footfall? Is it going to be mainly people walking in, or is it going to be mainly online? We do all of our research when it comes to earning money. But when it comes to spending the most part of your life with another individual, we don't do any preparation. Think, okay, we'll find someone, there's someone in our family, a mother or a sister, they've said, look, our son is interested in your daughter, okay, let's get married. Which is not a bad thing, it's a great thing, arranging marriages and getting individuals together. But before that step of actually getting married, you need to prepare. What is this institution, like we mentioned, that is the greatest institution? What should I know about marriage? I need to know the purpose in my life. Because at the end of the day, we're all going towards Allah. Everything in our relationship should be going towards Allah. I should have this worldview before I get married. So you have a correct way of nurturing that relationship. I need to know the physical needs, the spiritual needs, the different emotional needs of one another. Because men and women are different. Biologically, we are different. Emotionally, we are different. Like I said, you cannot speak to her like one of your boys at school. Okay, how do I speak to her? What are her needs? Other than me knowing that I need to provide for her financially. That's the wajib, that's the bare minimum that every single man should do. But unfortunately, some men don't do that. Preparation. Understanding the roles of a man. You want to get married to a woman? Okay, you're thinking about someone. Okay, what is my role as a man? What is my responsibility? Going forward, once we get married, if she's finished her education, what should we be doing? Should we speak about that? Because today, you have people that are married 30 years or 40 years into their marriage, and they complain, you know what? I'm just with him because of the children. And that's very unfortunate that any mu'min, a lover of the Ahlul Bayt, alayhim as-salam, should have to say that. Be that a woman or be that a man. Why? Because that attraction that Allah has put in her fitrah, she's not getting that anymore. That man is not a man anymore. Those manly traits are being taken away. Or those feminine traits are being taken away from her. Sometimes some people are more abrupt and broad. They want to be out there. Men don't really want to see that in a woman. Women don't want to see a man who is always hiding, who doesn't stand up for her if something wrong is happening. He wants her to provide. Not she is working hard, earning, and he's sitting at home. He's stable, he could work, find work, but no, he doesn't. The roles have reversed in some communities, and that affects your relationship, and you could see and speak to your elders and get advice from them. We need to have this outlook before we get married. Because when you have this outlook, you will be able to speak about it, you'll be able to understand. Okay, this was the theory, this is what I read. Now, okay, let's put it into practice. Let's go into this training ground that Allah has given us. The man should always be the one leading, managing. Yes, some women don't like it. Why should the man manage? I'm independent. He can manage, but he should manage like the Ahlul Bayt. We can't be exactly like them. But they weren't dictators in the house. Yes, the decisions, the managing the affairs of the house, the spiritual needs, the Islamic needs, done by the man, but consult with your wife. She's not an object. She's not someone from the street or from the shop that you just bought. You speak to her. Okay, let's conversate. Communicate. The more you communicate with one another, the stronger your relationship would be. If you've got something in your mind, I want to do this for us financially or for our children. Okay, you have that idea in your mind. Okay, let's just see what my wife says about it. talk to her, take her input, and then you can decide. That will show what? That you trust her, you love her, and she will understand that you consider her as your partner. Because if you don't, you just totally ignore her, it's not going to lead to a great relationship. You're always going to be on eggshells. Recite salawat, please. Okay, marriage is difficult to talk about in one lecture. There's so many different aspects to it, but we'll try our best. The Prophet, as we mentioned, is the best of individuals. After him, the best of individuals is no one other than Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. Recite salawat, please. But he reminds us of how to speak to women, how to treat a woman. This statement that many of you must have seen on social media in English, in Arabic, in Urdu, about a woman, or some of the speech of Shaheed Sayyid Ali Khamenei, where he talks about this as well, about how فَإِنَّ الْإِمْرَأَ رَيْحَانَةٌ وَلَيْسَتْ بِكَحْرَمَانَ or بِكَحْرَمَانَ. That a woman is like a flower. She's not a steward. You need to nurture that woman. Don't treat her like any other person, or like a steward, or like a slave, because that affects your relationship. Expectations kill a relationship. A woman, she really liked this man, and the man really liked her, but now they've got married, they've moved into a house, but now this woman is not only married to her, she's not the wife, now she's a daughter-in-law. So now, depending on which culture you come from, there's expectations from the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, the sister-in-law. Now she's got, subhanallah, got married, I thought it was just me and him. And obviously respect for the family, but now moving into that house, okay, now I have these expectations. And sometimes trying to live up to those expectations of all the different cultures breaks that relationship. The two individuals, they like each other, get on well with each other, but now this extra burden is difficult for her. People do it out of love, and that's great, they should do that. Women do that, there's great women. But I'm saying having that extra expectation and forcing that expectation on someone, it's an extra stress on the couples. That we should try to make it easier for our children to get married. We don't want to be the ones on the Day of Judgment. We have to answer to Allah, say, look, I was the reason for our children to get separated or cause problems in their relationships, because I made it so difficult for them. Financially or emotionally, that emotional blackmail, or those expectations. Now we're going to this person's house, you have to come every time we go. You have to dress a certain way. You have to bring certain gifts every time you go to this house. So I'm not financially able to do that. Mother, Father, why are you imposing this on us? If people do it out of the goodwill, it's great, but those expectations can break relationships. So prepare for that before, and those that are married now, we need to question ourselves. Do we have these extra expectations from my wife? I've just come home from work. The first thing I want is my food. What have you cooked? Is it warm? As soon as I open the door, what is this on the floor? Why is there toys on the floor? Can you not even clean the house? You've been at home all day. That expectation from a man that he's thinking just because I've been at work, she's been at home all day with the children, it's all easy. But that man can never fulfill that role of the mother. He can help, but he cannot do what a woman does. But having that expectation and saying that straight away to your wife, it breaks that relationship. It hurts. Because you don't know, we have a break, we're at work. Yes, we have stress at work. We may have a problem, a difficult time, maybe the train journey, maybe it was an accident on the M25 and we were stuck. But she's been working all day, trying to clean, trying to wash, trying to feed one child has a tantrum, then the other one, then this happens, then they run out of nappies, then they have to somehow get to the shop and do this, and before you know it, the day's over. Okay, if they do that, that's great. And the same goes the other way. It's not just the woman. Sometimes the first thing a woman expects, you've come home, maybe you're self-employed, how much have you earned today? The man has been working hard all day, driving from one place to another. The first thing he hears as soon as he opens the door, how much have you earned? I say, oh, work was very quiet. So look, everything has a place. Everything has timing. Let him come in, give us salam, wait a little while. Talk about certain things at different times. That same thing, if you say at the wrong time, will have a different effect. Even if you're having an argument, even if you're right or wrong. So, okay, it's not a good time to respond right now. Because I shouldn't have this expectation. Okay, let's wait. Let's wait 5 to 10 minutes. Another issue that you should get used to is expressing love for one another. I know it's difficult sometimes for us men to express our emotions for our partner. Because like I said, we're different. Men are more physical, sometimes they do things more with action. But a woman needs that reassurance. She needs to hear those words. I know in relationships, in couples, because people approach us, after years of marriage, a woman says, look, I don't feel the presence of my husband. He's not there, I feel lonely. You ask the husband, you talk to him as well. So, I don't go anywhere, I'm always at home. After work, I come home. But then you look into it a bit deeper. He's just on his phone. He's just worked. It's like, do you love her? Of course I love her. I work, I go to work, it's for her and it's for my family. In his mind, he's thinking, okay, I'm showing this love through my action by earning, by buying gifts. But she doesn't only need that. She needs to hear from you. She needs those words. The Prophet doesn't tell us for no reason. What's the narration? It says, قَوْلُ الرَّجُلِ لِلْإِمْرَةِ إِنِّي أَحِبُّكِ لَا يَذْهَبْ مِنْ قَلْبِهَا عَبَدًا. It's difficult for some of us. I saw a clip recently, someone showed me, that there were people from the Indian subcontinent. The husband called his wife and said, I love you. Not in English, they said it in Urdu and different languages. And she was shocked. She's like, what? I love my husband, we were married 30, 40 years. I love you. Another person is like, oh, there's something wrong. Are you feeling okay? So why? Because it's not normal. But the Prophet and the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam are telling you, if you say this to her, it would not leave her heart. Even though she may not understand it straight away, she may not believe you. You think, oh, you're just saying it. Maybe you're after something. Maybe you want to go out with your friends. Maybe you need to do this. You're saying it for that reason. But afterwards she'll think, okay, you know what, my husband, he says it to me as well. Women are different, get used to saying it. We can say it to our brothers. Our narrations tell us how important it is to tell your brother. It's worship, it's about meeting one another, it's worship. Tell him that you love him. If we say it to our brothers, say it to your wife. I advise every single one of you, whether you're married for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, maybe it will be that viral clip. You can go home and say to your wives, I love you. Salawat, please. Okay, I know namaz is close, I'll try to be very quick. Just a bit of caution for some people looking to get married, because the times that we're living is very difficult, and the parents should be aware of this as well. Because now my son wants to get married, What platform should we go? Before it used to be mainly arranged, it still is in many of our community, and it's great. But nowadays, there's so many different platforms to get married online. It's not always a bad thing, platforms, but we need to tread with caution. Because online and behind the screen, you can be anyone. You can portray yourself as anything. You can be the greatest hijabi, you can be the greatest azadar, you can be the haji, you can be the doctor, you can be the engineer, you can be the bodybuilder, even though in reality it's totally opposite, but depending on which Photoshop tools that you're using or not, it'll be different. Online you can be anyone. And when you speak to someone online, it's not always the way reality is. They will be nice to you. Okay, some people have got married and they found good people. You don't always find bad people that are always hiding, pretending they can't, they're acting like someone else. You find good, honest people. But do your research. If you're speaking to someone, they're always going to portray themselves as great. Okay, after a little while, speak to your parents. Say, look, we have this individual, can we do some research? Find out from someone in that community. Maybe, not obviously their relatives, close relatives, because they'll always say good things, unless they're really honest people. Do that background research, because if you don't, once you talk to that person and you build that relationship, letting go gets very difficult. Why? Because you're already emotionally attached. You've invested so much time. Now when you find out something about their family or that individual, you kind of like, no, it's not true, they're making it up. So no, your parents know what's good for you. Sometimes children, I know this person, I know how they are. So yeah, you're seeing it through one lens. Sometimes individuals, young individuals, they're infatuated. They can't see anything else. Speak to elders. They know how people are. They know how to do their research. They know they will speak to that family. Because if someone really wants to get married, they will approach that family. A few last points. Namaz is roughly 10 minutes. Okay, recite salawat, please. Just 2 points. One point about choosing the right person, and then one main principle for everyone to maintain Islamic marriage, successful marriage. Recite another salawat, please. Sometimes many of us, even on these online platforms and with our families, make it very difficult to get married. You ask someone, I've been looking for the last 5 years. I can't find anyone. So, really? 5 years? No, there's no good person that exists. Come on. Look how many mu'mineen there are in the world. Maybe you're looking in the wrong place. Of course, in your street, there's only a limited amount of mu'mineen there. Maybe you need to look a little bit further. But sometimes our criteria for getting married is so difficult. Of course, even when they see our profile, say, you know what, I can't even get close to this man or this woman. She has to be this height, she has to be this color, she has to be from this background, her eyes have to be like this, or the man has to be this build, he has to be earning this much, he has to be Pakistani, he has to be this. It's like, good luck to you. Of course, that's why it's been 5-6 years you're not getting married. Our main criteria that Allah gives us is what is our iman, is taqwa, our God consciousness, God wariness, being a mu'min, a lover of the Prophet and the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. Everything should be God-centric. Yeah, you can have preferences, that's okay. I know someone told me they were at a gathering, one of these marriage sessions that the communities organize in the UK. The man and woman, the couple, well, they weren't a couple yet, but they liked each other. They had many common things between them. So when they were at this seminar, the mother of the woman, of the girl, of the daughter, she says, I want to go see that man. She's seen a picture, so they went over and they told one of the instructors, they said, I want him to stand up. The instructor's a bit, confused. So we're at a marriage seminar, the two couples, they're matched, they have a lot of similarities. So the mother of that girl, she made the man stand up. From a distance she saw. And she says to the instructor, no. He's like, what? He said, because he's not tall enough for my daughter. So hold on, he's not marrying you. What do you mean he's not tall enough for my daughter? He has everything else. But I'm not even going to think about it. Why? Because he's not tall enough. We can laugh about it, but these are real things. Maybe we won't bring that same excuse, but we will bring another excuse. And we'll become an obstacle for them getting married. Iman, your taqwa, how God-centric they are. How trustworthy they are. You want to see how trustworthy they are with their words and amana. Trust is a massive issue in relationships. Later on, now, I don't trust my husband when he's going out. Maybe he's doing this, maybe he's doing that. Maybe he's speaking to another woman. Maybe he's seeing someone. Even though that's a wrong mindset, we need to think positive. But sometimes we've given that excuse to someone. Someone came to the Ahlul Bayt and said, how can we find out someone is practicing? He says, لا تنظروا إلى كثرة الصلاة والصوم والزكاة. Don't look at how much he prays, how much Hajj he goes for. Some of us are thinking, whoa, what do you mean? Of course, practicing person, we just need to see, he's, as they say, Panj Waqt Namazi, he prays 5 times a day. He gives zakat, he gives khums. No. So look, undur ila sidq al-hadith wa ada al-iman. So you want to see how really practicing he is? How much he really loves Allah? See how trustworthy he is, or she is. How trustworthy they are with amana. Because if they're like that, everything else will fall in place. Because they will be honest, if they have flaws in themselves, they will accept and tell you that I have these flaws. And they will accept them for Allah's sake. That's one of the core principles that in the book Sacred, many of you, if you haven't read that by Ayatollah Waziri Fard, it talks about 6 principles of a tranquil marriage. There's many other books, inshallah, if you have the opportunity, we can mention them. But the core principle in that relationship is sacrifice. Being able to sacrifice emotionally, physically, sometimes spiritually. But sacrificing for what? Not sacrificing for her as an individual. Or she's not sacrificing for you as a husband. She's sacrificing for Allah. Because that central pivot in your life and everyone's life is Allah. So even in this relationship, what comes first before your needs and her needs is the marriage. The marriage is the core, and you two are inside that bubble that is called marriage, this bina. So for Allah we sacrifice for this, if it's, adjusting my plans, if it's not going to see my friends at this time, or sacrificing 1 day a week, or sacrificing a bit of time when she's tired, or when you're tired, you come back from work, she wants to speak to you. So many narrations that talk about, just you sitting with your wife is greater than doing what? Itikaf in the masjid of the Prophet. Why? Ponder over these words. Because Allah is giving importance to this relationship. It will help you and her develop. We ask Allah to bless all of us with compatible spouses, those that are not married, obviously. And inshallah, second wives for those that can. Allah, ask you to hasten the reappearance of our 12th Imam. O Allah, give us the tawfiq to build our communities and our families and societies to serve you in the best of ways. O Allah, forgive our marhumeen of their sins, forgive our major and minor sins. O Allah, all those that the doctors have given up on, have illnesses, those that have physical illnesses or spiritual illness, O Allah, give all of them shafa. For Allah to accept everything that we have said, please recite 2 loud salawats ala Muhammad.